Neil, as things stand now, where do you see South Africa's political playfield in 100 days?
This is a critical number. I think, Chris, you saw I wrote a small article and I said 100 days in the forest or out. So here's the thing I wanted to tell you. A great man told me one day that civil society, and call it modern ethos of evolution, is that man brings concrete to forest. This is the truth. We take our buildings, our infrastructure as modern men and women, and we build concrete infrastructure in the middle of the forest. What happens, Chris, is that forest will never give up taking back concrete. And concrete will continue fighting forest coming back. So when you see, and this is going to be interesting, when you drive through municipalities, you can judge a great municipality, a functional institution, by just looking if grass is breaking through concrete. So if you walk down a sidewalk and you notice on that sidewalk that grass roots are cracking and sprouting through concrete, because, by the way, it takes time for it to do so, it shows you there's a lack of management in that municipality. They are surrendering to the forest. So that's why a good municipality cuts its lawns, hedges its wedges, cuts its trees, and ensures that infrastructure is maintained. And that's why 84% of South Africa's municipalities have given up back to the forest. So I take that kind of analogy to say, politics in this country is now currently concrete and forest. They are the constructors and they are the deconstructors. So there's a grouping in this country, but net will bloody outbreak. They just want to break down. And there's a group of us that go, no, we want to build and create. Now, there you sit. You have a government of national unity where I will put myself out there, where you've got the DA, the IFP, and all the other people going up and saying, no matter our past, and this is going to be difficult because a leopard and spot, but we pray that that leopard got older, sheds a bit of the spot, and becomes a little bit mature. So we mustn't worry on the continual situation, but it's there that this leopard is not going to change spots. We're fighting. But can you imagine sitting in a government where you've got people that now want to construct, they want to go ahead, and you are a bunch of people sitting there and are going to continually try and break down what is built? And that's the quagmire, the forest and the concrete. And if we are going to build and evolve and become again an economic power, which we lost, Chris, like I'm going to say what they will, they can say what they want. South Africa is no longer the biggest economy on this continent. We lost it. People didn't take it away from us. We surrendered it because of maladministration, currently the looting, state capture that happened to us. We have an opportunity here with this government of national unity to rebuild and regain what we lost. But we've got to say to the people like the MKs, like the EFF, that continually want to go and it's like, here it comes. Hulle wil aan mekaar terugmoer. Forest toe. They want to go back to the bloody forest where they want to nationalize, they want to socialize, they want to become Father Christmas on an economy that can't even afford a reindeer or a bloody sleigh. So you know what? We've got to defend ourselves now against that Marxist, socialist, Leninist, Stalin attitude of everybody must own everybody. Except some of us can eat caviar. Maar dit is mos nou nonsense. In this country, instead of caviar, they wear Louis Vuitton. Nou hoor gou vir my, hulle moer. Hear me? We will not allow it because the taxpayer, we're paying for it. And in Afrikaans, I love my language, there's a word called gatvol. And I must tell you, 7 million people paying the majority bulk of tax for 60 million people was raak to 'n gatvol. And therefore, the hope is that this government of national unity will not just look at the fundamental points that they have to now argue between the DA and the ANC. They have to argue those points. And I hope that the first point that they talk about is the total change of this economy and the approach of this economy. And that's where we are in South African politics. 100 days, they have to fix the economy. They have to talk about macroeconomic empowerment. They've got to look at our domestic and our international relations. They've got to talk about South Africa products first. They've got to ensure that we do not get into the problem of faltering into a unionist attitude because, whoa, the ANC is not the only one sitting at the table. We forgot about the Communist Party and COSATU. Now, I am hearing that COSATU, SANCU are absolutely not recognized in certain of the in-depth critical talks. It was public. They had a meeting. This is dangerous. And these are the things that we have to sort out in 100 days. Safety, security, jobs, justice, economy. And in our terms, when I was in uniform, we used to talk about, firstly, you stabilize, and then you normalize. And that's where we are.